About my love, wasn't it enough? Just let me know.
Let's talk about the pro days. Be completely honest with you guys. This is one of those situations. Oh, Chris Rodriguez is another one to back up Tony Pollard. This is one of those situations where I don't pay attention to pro days all that much. I'll go back and rewatch all the highlights because that's basically what this is. It's just a big highlight fest. Oh, what can you do? From the 20-yard line, how long can you throw it? Underwear Olympics 2.0. I call it the glorified underwear day. The Victoria's Secret for Men day. See how fast you can throw that ball down that field. Let's see how long you can throw it down the field. This is your home base. We ain't gonna judge you too much. But Will Levis out there looking like the next coming of Christ. Got people talking again. What's it reminding you of? It reminded me of Zach Wilson last year. That's kind of the vibes that I get from this whole thing. Is like, this dude finds his little slithery self any way he can, because he was dropping down the draft boards. We seen him at like the 20s. I seen someone he was at the 30s. I will say this though, not to be hypercritical of pro days, but if the pro day helped anybody out in his draft class, it was CJ Stroud. And here's why. Ryan Day's play calling did not help CJ Stroud out this year. We've seen it time and time again. The best game he had was against Georgia, where they let him rip. I think Ryan Day's play calling, which is very, 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 call it what it is, condensed and anemic. How many times did Fishing during our film study call off? It's going to be a swing pass, or it's going to be something shallow, or, you know, it's going to be these little short rinky-dink passes. And then the receivers from there are able to let it work. Every once in a while, you get a pass over the middle, or just a pass that's just completely wide open to Marvin Harrison Jr., where he was forced to throw it. But the majority of the game were a lot of screen passes, over and over and over and over and over again. A lot of 3x1s, where you got 3 wide receivers on one side and one on the other. They barely had tight ends in there because they had such a big offensive line. Mine Williams, Travion Henderson, getting a lot of dump off passes too. So the pro days helped people like CJ Stroud show his arm strength and his arm talent, because he needed it, because of how anemic the play calling was. He's impressive. I mean, I've been saying this since last year. I had CJ Stroud clearly winning the Heisman. I thought Ohio State was going to win a national championship. Travion Henderson was a shell of itself. Jackson Smith and Jigba got hurt. That defense was not as good as what we thought it was going to be. And they just had problem after problem after problem. Still won games, still got by. They did what they needed to do. But then when it came to Georgia, they missed the kick. We all seen it. We all seen Where You Hiden's reaction. We seen it. So Artie says, actually Fishing said, actually, let me scroll up. I miss some stuff. I like CJ. He's a coach's kid. He's got the size, the arm, the footwork, the mechanics are smooth. Suspicion said AR Pro Day is the 30th. Oh my God, everybody's gonna have the big eye emojis. I'm still trying to learn their playbook right now, but from what I've seen, Stroud is the most overrated quarterback in the class. Ooh. Well, he's got his reasons. Or did, if not for the Georgia game, I would agree. That game showed us what he can be, though. Yeah, it really matters against good teams. Now you see why I said Bryce Young should have participated in the combines. You clearly missed the start of the show then. I don't have many over him, just Young, Richardson potential, Duggan potential. CJ's footwork is so smooth. One thing Stroud does bad, he doesn't take the rush yards when they're there. Yeah. I mean, I agree with all that sentiment. Arm talent for sure. When you've seen it, you've seen it. The only time you just don't have an abundance of it because of Ryan Day. That's just their playbook. Dump off, screen pass, maybe throw it over in the middle. Oh, CJ, we're gonna give you two. We'll give you two passes downfield to Marvin Harrison Jr. and he's gonna make it work. So, Levitt's hype for me reminds me of Zach Wilson. Pro Day for me, CJ Stroud was definitely helped by the Pro Day. And, you know, Bryce Young did his thing. I don't think he needs to prove anything to anybody. But I want one of them Alabama Pro Day shirts, though. I'm going to have to get me one of them. I think most people are still not sold on Ohio State quarterbacks. Well, like I said, Justin Fields is technically a product of Georgia, but he transferred up there and played there for 2 years. I don't know. Levis is a better version of Trace McSorley. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. I know you guys are talking about CJ Stroud in the comments.